You know, we all have that one friend where we question, what were you thinking when it's all said and done? Today, that is what we're going to be talking about here on Central Tabletop Gaming's Storytime. I am your host, Jeremy Kelly. So, when I was about 23, 24 years old, I started a D&D group over at my buddy's house, and I had more than one going at the time, but they wanted one, and they said, hey, would you mind GMing for us? And of course, I didn't mind. I love GMing. So, my buddy Chris took us there, us meaning me and himself, and we got out, and we were getting everything set up, and I wanted to do something special, so I looked at Stuart and said, hey, bud, would you mind taking us to the store down the street? I want to get everyone a soda. He looked at me because I didn't have a lot of money, and he wanted to make sure it was me not trying to think too much about things. And he's like, are you sure? And I said, yeah. Just something really special for that first game. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'd be happy to go take you to the store real fast. One of the guys who was there, we're going to call him T for the duration of this video, looked at us and said, hey, do you mind if I tag with? I could carry some of the soda. And of course, yeah, we didn't mind. He was a cool guy. We liked him. So we all get into Stuart's car and we go down to the local not gas station. There's a gas station outside that we go to occasionally, but no, we had to go in the store. And they sell these giant 3 liters of soda. They're generic, but, you know, they're good. And we all grabbed 2 each, but T offered to carry 3 since, you know, he wasn't paying for anything. He wasn't doing the gas. He wasn't doing the drinks. So he was going to be generous. So me and Stuart grabbed 2 each, and T grabbed 2. And these things are fairly heavy. If you've ever picked up a 3 liter, you know they're not as light as you think they are. You tend to judge it a little too much. You go, oh, it's just like a 2 liter, and then you forget, you know, there's an extra liter in there. So T grabs 2 of them, and I go over it. I'm like, all right, so we got this one, we got this one, we got this one. And I'm like, so what are you getting? And T goes, I'm trying to decide between the root beer and the grape soda. Of course, my buddy Stuart, just being playful, because just getting this out there, T's black. Real awesome guy. But there's a moment for everything. And this was the perfect time for him to stab himself in the foot, because Stuart just looks at him and goes, what, you gonna Mace Windu it? And he goes, you know what? And T just smiles and goes, I'm gonna be a stereotypical black man. I swear that is exactly how he sounded. So he reaches up to grab his soda, and he grabs it by the lid section. I mean, it makes sense. These things have big old lids. You could fit like a $50 on the top of it. I mean, that's fairly big. And he just picks the thing up, and he forgets the weight concept. These things are above our heads. We're having to actually reach up and pull them down. And it just drops. And as if it's in slow motion, I get a quick glance at everyone, and we all look like we're terrified for just a second. So the first thing I do is I fold the front of my trench coat up. I wear a lot of trench coats. So I fold the front end of my trench coat up because I want to prevent it from splashing me as much as possible. I wear really nice clothing, regardless of being poor. So I actually care about what I'm wearing. And I think I was even wearing a dress shirt that day. I don't remember why. And the bottle is angled perfectly to hit me. The lid is pointed. The white cap is looking right at me. So I'm just expecting this thing to come off and spray all over me. So it hits the ground, and we just get this loud boom. Soda goes flying left, right, up, down, every direction. There is grape soda everywhere. T is covered from his waist to his shoes in grape soda. Stuart he was the furthest away. So he only got like a little bit on his feet, enough that when we got in the car, he had to complain about his feet being sticky. And myself, who expected to be splashed the most, I looked down thinking, oh, I'm going to have a horrible mess to clean up, and I don't want to have Stuart drive me home. I look down, and I am bone dry. There is not a glistening spot on my coat. It looks like it just came out of the wash. Okay, that's a horrible analogy, but you guys know what I mean. It still looks clean. And poor T just looks like he's mortified. And, of course, what happens? You know, the store people are coming over and they're making sure everything's all right. They thought someone actually got shot. I mean, it was a really loud boom. Those things have quite a bit of weight. And for one to rupture and blast everywhere, you know, it doesn't sound good. So, of course, one of the guys looks at us and goes, is everyone all right? And I look right at him and I'm like, I think we're going to need to clean up. And I don't know how your store policy works, but yeah, I need to pay for that. And I still got another one I got to grab. And he's like, is everyone all right, though? And I go, I'm fine. And I point to the other two, and one by one they reply with, yeah, we're good. And then T obviously replies with the obvious statement of, I'm drenched. And Stuart just goes, don't worry about it. When we get to my car, we'll just head straight back to the place. T was staying at the house we're going to, so, you know, he had a change of clothes there he could change into. So that wasn't as big of a deal as we thought it would be. Store guy is really nice. He doesn't even charge me for the drink, and we still end up walking out with all 7 we needed. I ended up taking one of T's. Stuart ended up taking another one of T's, and I think Stuart actually took the 4th one. I mean, Stuart's a big old boy, and he could carry a lot of stuff, so I was just so grateful he was there with me. T looks right at us and says he's just going to be a minute. He needs to go to the bathroom and at least try to dab some of it off, make sure, you know, he's not going to get it all over Stuart's car. So me and Stuart go to the car. Eventually T comes out, and he just sits down and looks right at me and Stuart and says, oh, I don't want to be a stereotypical black man anymore.